Welcome back to another YouTube video, guys. So on today's little journey we embark on our IS200 turbo build. I've gone out and bought myself a turbo. It was used off another IS200, but it came with all the necessary components. Just missing a few pipes, but we can sort that. So yeah, today's day one. Just gonna start ripping out the engine bay, try and figure this out. For the records, never done this before, so it's gonna be interesting. So the first step we did was remove all unnecessary plastics. Most of it is 10mm and easily accessible. So we've got the covers here. That's the two, sorry, and got two heat shields, and with them it's just two. It's 1, 2, 3 for each one, 3 bolts, and they're 12mm each. Then after that, I would say it's quite difficult, depending on your car. Would be the manifold bolts. They are 14mm, but they do take a lot of force to get off. So I had to end up standing on the actual engine and just yanking it. But I finally got it off with some help with WD. Next would be to remove 4 bolts down there that connects to the catalytic converter, and remove the whole manifold completely. Okay, so next, once you've jacked your car up a reasonable height, we've got 3 bolts. 1, 2, and the other one's on the other side, can't really be seen. Nope. But yeah, all 3 need to come off, which leads into catalytic converter and then to manifold. That needs to come off. They are quite crusted, so I'm not sure if they'll come off all in one or have to be welded off, but we'll see. Day 2, got the full exhaust system off. That's the old one on the left, and that's the other part to it. Reason why it took so long, I struggled to get the O2 sensor off. It's in there because it's in the car. So what I end up doing is taking the whole exhaust system off and using 20mm crank it and get it off. But yeah, as we sit, we have no manifold, no exhaust, loads of space. So next step would be put the new manifold in, and the new exhaust system. Right, so I'm under the car, very dangerous situation, but got loads of jack stands, so it's alright. Managed to put the exhaust on, 2 hooks at the back, and 2 hooks about 3/4 way. That's on there, all the way down, and that'll connect to the downpipe. This is where my problem was when removing the other one, because this O2 sensor couldn't get it off, so I had to take the whole exhaust off, but I managed to do it now, so I'm going to put this one back in. The thread is a bit damaged, but should be okay. I won't tighten it too much. I'll put some copper grease on it as well. So as I said, that's the exhaust pipe. Zoom in. So it connects onto the 2 rubbers, one there, and then same for the back. Right out the back of the car. Next, what I'll be doing is bolting the exhaust onto downpipe, and then put the O2 sensor in, and then run it back into the car. It leads to the back seat underneath, just with the back seat here underneath the carpet, and you should be able to pull it out. Right, so we have the exhaust mounted on to the downpipe. For my next job, I'm going to try and remove the front bumper so I can start to put on the intercooler. It's quite simple really. There's quite a number of screws underneath. My splitter's in the way, but I can manage to reach it with a socket wrench. So you've got a few there all around the car, and then if you go to the sides, you'll have one clip there and another one there. They just pull out, and you just need to pull this plastic back, and it'll reveal. Where is it? There. There's a bolt right there. This bolt. Just take that off, and that'll release the bumper completely, and then you should be able to take it all off in one piece. Also, there's also these two here, two there, one in the middle. That's just for the grill, but it does attach to the bumper as well. Okay, now that you have your bumper off, you're gonna want to disconnect your fog light. Just a simple connector, and then you've got your jet washers. Just remove holes from the bottom, and make sure you have a bucket on hand to drain it out. Same for the other side. Okay, once you've removed your crash bar using 12mm, there's 3 bolts. I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to fit this massive intercooler there. We'll see. As you can see, I have managed to get it on. Just use these factory holes using a bolt that's a little bit bigger. I think that's an M6. I just drilled it in, created a thread, and then put a bolt behind it. That's for that. That attaches there, simple as. And then if I go underneath, I've had to cut out a bit of my panel, the under tray, just so I can get that hose in. It wasn't clean cut because I was just guessing, but I'll cover that back up. Put my hose clamps on, then that will lead all the way up throttle body. Then that connects to this curved hose and attaches to the intercooler. Same for the other sides. Again, and for here, I had to drill a hole in the body of the car. It was a bit of a ghetto job, but I didn't have tools at the time, so I just used a drill bit. I just punched a few holes and then knocked it in. And then to prevent rusting in the future, I just did a quick spray of some spare red paint I had. From there, that pipe will go to your turbo, which will be here, about there. But yeah, that's all for the piping. Other than that, we just got the blower valve to attach. It's simple, just attaches onto here and then onto this throttle body. What I've done next is gone to the fuel, try and sort out the fuel return. So for this, what you need to do, there's 3 screws on the side. Yeah, so these screws, they are plastic, so be careful. I think they're 10mm, and just on either side of there, remove them. Then you'll reach this part, which attaches onto your fuel pump. It has a load of screws, which are over here. 1 second. They're very small. I think they're either 8s or 9s, but you could use a screwdriver. They're not tight. And then from there, just pull out the whole system. Careful, because there's a piece of wire that tells you the level of your fuel. From here, what we'll have to do is run a fuel line. I've used this one, which is a 3/16. Run that. There it is. Yep, so it's for safe for use with fuel. So I run that from here underneath the car. Okay, so that is from the inside of the car. Comes out, runs there, run it all the way along there and into this tray, which then leads towards the front of the car. That then goes to the other tray at the front, and then using just a long pole, I attached some sellotape onto it and pulled it into the cabin of the engine, which then comes straight through here. And here we have it. Bit of a mission, but just remove a few panel clips and you're alright. Okay, so what I had to do with this fuel return, it gets kind of interesting. So first I drilled a hole on the lid, I just found this brass fitting at my local store. It's connected to a bolt underneath. Can't really see it because I've already installed it. See if we can get it. Nope. Anyway, it's got a bolt on the other side so it screws down, and I put a little bit of silicone just in case. And then that attaches to this hose, which is just a fuel return. And then after that, this little brass bracket tubing, you just need to squish it as best as you can, just so not fuel can return back up. That's pretty much it. Just reinstall it as it was. Then the fuel return hose that you've ran there just attaches onto your brass fitting. Okay, so next, once you have your fuel return ran, put a hose clamp on it and attach it onto your fuel regulator on the bottom. Then from your fuel regulator you have the vacuum line, so that will run to close to your throttle body, and you'll see a little nipple there, that metal copper. I remove the hose, which is here, and it runs down into another nipple. Now what you need to do, tap into that, so you slip in half and then put a T connector, so it has one there, and one comes out there, T connector, and then this just needs to slide back into that copper nipple, and then the other end, this end, will connect onto your blower valve. Okay, so to be more clear, that fuel return goes from the regulator and it runs down the side next to the battery and then comes straight down into the bottom of the car and into the tray. Now I followed the previous metal lines that were there, you can see them. I just followed that all the straight way up, so it's not in the way of any moving or hot parts, so it should be okay. Right, next what I'm going to do is work on the oil, to tap into it to get a oil return. So first I just need to drain the oil, remove that. As soon as you remove it, oil will start pouring out, so get a bucket ready to be able to catch it. Just need to remove this little screw. You can use a 14mm. I've already cracked it already. Okay, so it's loose. As soon as I remove that screw, oil should be pouring out. There we go. Now what I'm going to do, just going to let that drain fully before I take off the oil pan, just to avoid any mess on the floor, because from past experience, oil takes a while to clean.